The next level workshop is called Partnered Exploring. It's sometimes taught together as a 5-day workshop with the first one that I'll be doing in April. If we take all the people I can see on the screen and put them in a group and give them the same exercise, go and visit with this person who's died, all of you with the same person. All of you then go to visit with that person through the guidance of the exercise, and you get information from that person, specific information. Then as a group, when you come back, you make notes about everything you can remember about your experience, but you don't say a word to anyone else in your group until you all have your notes finished. And then you share your notes, and you look for the similarities and differences. And what you find is that in that exercise, a group does actually visit with the same deceased person. Sometimes they get the same information. Sometimes each person in the group will get different pieces of information about the same individual that the person who wrote down their name says, that's my son. The third workshop is called Self-Discovery and Self-Healing. Self-healing and self-discovery. It's about retrieving aspects of ourselves. I'm not sure how much more to say about that, except to say that sometimes it's easiest to see in traumatic events. Some trauma happens to a young person or to any of us. We tend to, if we can't handle being conscious of that all the time, we tend to, what I would describe as, spin off an aspect of ourselves, a small portion of ourselves, just to hold those feelings within our subconscious so that we don't have to be consciously aware of that. Now, the problem is that the effect of those feelings being held by this aspect still affects our lives. There are lots and lots of examples of people retrieving aspects of themselves. A woman in Poland, in her debriefing, said, I understand why now. Now I understand why I always feel completely abandoned. The aspect she retrieved was a portion of herself from a previous lifetime where she had been what we would call a healer, what they called a witch. She'd gotten crossways with the local authorities, and she was sentenced to live the rest of her years in solitary confinement in a dungeon. She never had human contact from the day she went in until she died. She never had human contact. That aspect of her from her previous lifetime was still affecting her today because it made her feel like, even though she had friends, even though she had acquaintances, even though she had those things in her life, she always felt completely abandoned and alone. When she retrieved that aspect of herself, those feelings and that understanding resolved the whole issue. And the fourth level I've already alluded to, a workshop that teaches communication with non-human forms of intelligence, animals and the ones you might call aliens.